presentation by Maciej Karczewski from eMusec about GDPR, what it means for your business.
I'm sorry, I like to talk a lot, so I will need a cheat sheet to stay on my track because I don't have much time, so please excuse me. I will use my laptop. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have heard of GDPR? Well, okay, and now be honest, how many of you have heard of GDPR before it appeared on today's meeting agenda? Wow, okay, much better than I suspected. Okay, as far as I know, I have 20 minutes, so it's
15.
15. Okay, so it's nothing. And to be honest, 15 minutes or 20 minutes or even half an hour is something like 228 working days to prepare for disaster, or maybe not disaster. On many web pages, you can see it's about 350 days to May 25th, 2018. That's so if you want to work on Saturdays, Sundays and other holidays. If you prefer to work Monday to Friday, it's 228 days. And for some businesses, it's like nothing. Okay, the law was adopted, that's something you probably know. The law was adopted on 27th of April last year with 2 years vacation legacy, so it means it's 2 years on hold, let's say. It applies starting May 25th next year, probably at 6 a.m. So, better wake up. And what's very important, there's no escape. I was auditing one company, a clone of LinkedIn for programmers. And we talked to them about GDPR, what it means, and they said, no problem, it's a small company, we'll move to Dubai. And the problem is, of course you can move to Dubai, you can move to New York City, you can move to a far, far away part of rainforest in Brazil or Indonesia. But if you process personal data of EU citizens, it applies to you, no matter where you are. Okay, now speaking about Poland, it was counted that about 600 legal acts must be amended to be compatible with GDPR. And another strong message is GDPR as EU law is something less than our constitution, but it's much, much more than a standard legal act. So if any local law in Poland says you must do A, and GDPR says you cannot do A, you must do B, the GDPR takes precedence. For example, if some articles of GDPR are not compatible with, let's say, okay, talking about financial market, with recommendation D of KNF, of which you may have heard, then GDPR is more important. Okay, I'm from IT. If you talk to anyone who is from a law part, they will tell you GDPR is a compliance problem. It is not compliance. Underscore, bold, exclamation mark. It is not compliant. GDPR is about your business, and what you probably will have to do is to switch to a totally new philosophy of doing your business. Big data, profiling, so-called sensitive data about your healthcare. There are some things GDPR doesn't like very much. And to be honest, if you look at fintech, if you look at any business, it would be very hard to find anything that doesn't somehow process personal data. Okay? Okay, I will not read it, it's too long, but just look at it. It's something called data minimalization. It means that you have to build your business processes in such a way that the process collects as little part of the data as possible, but it is processed for as short time as possible, but that is available for as fewest people as possible, and it is deleted as quickly as possible. And if you talk about big data, if you talk about profiling, I don't see it unless you provide a value for your customer, a value for people, so they will be happy to sell your data. That's legal, and that was the point behind GDPR. Okay, that's what UK Chief Privacy Officer said. You have to recognize value of the data, and you have to recognize that the data belong to the people, not to your company. Look at this. First, think how about people want their data to be handled, processed, used. Exactly what you said a few minutes ago. If you collect data to profile people, they will not be happy. If you profile people to give them value, they will be more than happy to give you the data. It's like traffic management based on phone traffic. Today, it's in some European countries it's illegal. There was a big project in Belgium to create traffic signal based on real data, and it was cancelled by the local privacy authority. Now it will be legal, if people agree, of course. Okay, how many of you know what personal data really means? Okay, personal ID card, quite obvious. License plate? Yes, if you have access to the system that records off license plates, it's called CEPIK in Poland, then it is personal data. Be careful. IP address, MAC address, it's all personal data today. It will be personal data tomorrow, but tomorrow, that's something totally new according to GDPR. Cookies, RFID, genetic data, GPS data, they could be defined as personal data if you can link, let's say, GPS location of my phone to myself by email, phone number, anything, then it is personal data. And data is money. That's why free applications are free, because you're paying with your privacy, with your data. And you can earn a lot of money from the data. Okay, one simple slide about processing. To be short, processing is just everything. If you have data, you process the data. If you destroy data, it's processing. Okay? Okay, the most stupid text you can say about GDPR, and it's not theory, that's something I heard. We have time. Yes, if you run a news stand or a food truck, you still have time. If you run even a startup, you don't have time. Next year problems will be dealt next year. It's the same. It's not concerning our business. I remind you, data of EU citizens, no matter where, it's GDPR. Nobody will kill business. remember Sox, remember Arthur Anderson, remember Enron, remember Lehman Brothers. It will work out somehow, or maybe. Okay, how much is it worth? Do you remember Yahoo? A huge IT technological company that was bought by Verizon last year, I think. And just before they were bought, they had a huge leak of about 2 billion records. That's the discount Verizon got because of this data leak. That's something we all remember. Okay, how it looks today, the data privacy. You have low, yellow, and you have a bit of IT, and it's not connected. And that's how it looks when you look for a consultant, GDPR consultancy today. If you go to the law firm, you get low. If you go to IT company, you get only technology. If you go to Cisco, you get magic black box. That's how it should look like. Low IT processes, external parties, everything connected. Okay? Okay. Just words about security. That's how it looks today. If you have password policy, UPS, firewall, antivirus, and HTTPS, then you are legal from current law's point of view. May 25th next year, adequate. Dot. That's what GDPR says. And the problem is, how do you prove that your solution is adequate? And we believe that the only way is to use methodology which is tested, repeatable, auditable, and documented, so you can prove why your methodology gave you the results you got. And one word of shameless marketing, we created methodology, well, we are in the process of creating methodology that is jointly created by very experienced IT security guys, very experienced privacy lawyers, and a guy who specializes in business processes. So that was 65 million years ago. That's us, and we can sell you this insurance. And okay, if businesses see something like this above in the sky, most of them will sit and wait to die, but some will start building shelters to prepare. And if you look at the asteroid that killed dinosaurs, the last slide, if you look at the asteroid that killed dinosaurs 65 million ago, 20% of this rock was platinum, nickel, and other metals. I made a quick calculation. It was worth about 4 million billion USD. So that's a huge potential for the market. It might be disaster, but it might be enormous profit. In Poland, 9% of companies know about GDPR, 3% of companies prepare for GDPR. So it will be 90% extinction. Okay? And okay, I'm more or less in time, unless I'm afraid. If you have any questions, if you want to talk, here's the email. Feel free. I'm not promising I will answer in 5 minutes, but I promise I will answer. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we can take a question if somebody would like to ask something quickly. We've got time for about 1 or 2. Would anybody like to ask anything? No? Okay. No takers. Okay.